I usually make like I make like happy videos, but I thought, I'm gonna do one that is not gonna be that happy, explaining. I already have some videos explaining the whole story of what happened to me and so on. The quality is not too good. It was a while ago, and it's still, I'm progressing. I'm not very good with technology. Okay, so slowly, slowly, and yeah. But I mean, it's just, my story really starts when I was little, even though I didn't understand at the time, and I had no symptoms at all, apart from being bloated, from, eating macaroni, whatever, and my belly being like a balloon and that kind of thing, or being sometimes a bit overwhelmed in situations where there was too many people and things like that. Then when I was 12, the hormones started, and that's when I crashed, like for the first time ever, no? Unfortunately, with mast cell activation syndrome, which at the time I had no idea, and no one had no idea what it was just, yeah, horrible, horrible, because it caused neuroinflammation, and I didn't have a clue. And then surprisingly, the first period come, and that's when things, histamine, estrogen rise one another. So it's like my body said enough, like, And for the first time, I started having symptoms, which was, yeah, scary. So I remember, it was like a horrible year. It only lasted a year that time, where I don't know, I had rage for no reason. I was dizzy, I was anxious, I couldn't eat, I was allergic to everything. Everyone was scared for me. No one understood what the hell was going on with me. They think you're crazy, but you're not. I mean, and it was only because of this, no? Estrogen triggered all this for the first time. So, I found a very old school doctor, and he said, no, this, no? And he was right. This is like infections that get reactive because of toxins. I was shocked. I mean, this was the 90s, no? I couldn't eat either, so people thought I was anorexic or whatever, when, you know I couldn't. No, absolutely not. So I don't know, I mean, things kind of got stable, thanks God. And this guy gave me methylene blue at the time and some homeopathy, and my body kind of got stable. And then I didn't have more problems because hormones are kind of a lot better from, those years, and you're entering your 20s. They are kind of more stable than usual. So it was fine. Although, yeah, I could always feel that if I got too tired, my body wasn't functioning well, my brain wasn't functioning well. Something was happening for years, and I didn't know what. But I was living a, let's call it, normal life with some, fatigue, I guess, and like anxiety that didn't make any sense, and just random things, and having gut issues all the time. But not too extreme to stop my life. So it was like, what the hell? The problem with this is that you spend so many years in this weird situation that when you actually get really bad, people just assumes that you are, and you've been weird all your life, when in fact you were inflamed like hell all your life. And this is something that really hurt me from, friends, family, which, to be honest, are not by my side anymore, for a reason, right? And that, yeah, I mean, I still get very hurt by this, because it's something I really much need right now. And yeah, but then 2016, I start feeling horribly bad, and my period started bleeding like hell, and I didn't know what was happening. And I wish I had the information to understood at the time the symptoms, so this would have never happened. But it had enough years to build up and build up and build up, because of ignorance. Let's say it. I did not know. We had not been taught to understand all this, and actually to have a lifestyle that allows it to stop and live healthy and happily, right? So then, yeah, the periods were hell. Then I find out I had a fibroid, which is very common in women, and it should not be again. And yeah, and then also I was completely paralyzed. The only thing I thought I had was a fibroid, but it didn't make any sense because I couldn't move. I couldn't move my legs. I was like, what the hell? This is the start, the very true start of all these nightmares. So yeah, immediately I realized, obviously, like, conventional medicine did not have a clue about what the hell was going on. Nothing. Um, yeah, and months passed. I was in bed looking at the window, and months were passing. Like, it was spring, it was winter, it was summer, it was spring, like that, over and over and over. And I was locked in a room, just watching time go by, it was insane. The period pains were absolutely out of hell. So I took matters in my own hands because that's all I knew. I mean, the only thing that I could understand was like chronic fatigue syndrome along this hormonal hell. So I started studying and fixing all that. I realized I needed to come out of toxicity and radiation. So we went to a small town in the and and yeah, that worked. But I didn't have the whole picture. I didn't have time enough to study everything. And by the time I was already better, the worst of the worst came. One day I woke up, I went to wash my hair. I was already making plans to start living again. That was 2 years, something like that, 2, 3 years, which, it's a bloody long time already. But this is just like the aperitif, let's say, no? I went to wash my hair and suddenly, boom, everything exploded in such a way. I lost consciousness of, it's just not possible to explain. I mean, I just told my boyfriend that I was dizzy, and out of nowhere, everything disappeared. I could not see. Everything was like an LSD trip. I lost perception of who I was. I didn't know my name. I didn't know my mom's name. I didn't know who anything or anyone was. I didn't know where I was. Everything was spinning around me like hell. I had to hold on to the floor. I had insane tachycardia. And basically, I was having like a blood poisoning episode, like sepsis. So at the time, I went to emergency care, and they told me, yeah, you are having the same symptoms as, sepsis, basically, but we don't know why. So therefore, you're fine, go home. I was bloody dying. That's when, I realized, oh my God, I'm fucked. Um, then when I started thinking about Lyme disease, well, thinking, I mean, thanks God I did study before this happened, so I could have an idea. Because at the time, I mean, yeah, all my hair fell down, all my teeth, like, the molars fell down. I mean, the state was unbelievable. But I realized very fast that they were treating people that were living this like crazy, and that they could kill me if they gave me anything, because I was so bloody allergic to any chemical, which also is not, the way to solve it. My heart was beating abnormally. Like, I mean, everything was insanely crazy. I was in that brutal state for at least, I don't even know, a year and a half, something, in the most, like the heaviest one. I was having rage, my liver was on fire. I wasn't myself at all. I just disappeared. I mean, yeah, it was. I try to put words to this, but only those who actually live this can relate, I guess. And in my case, because of hormones, things were 3 times stronger. So yeah, the usually people that live this last a week or two, and they commit, you know, they can't take it anymore and they disappear from life. Somehow, yeah, I hold on to it because I knew that, sorry, that this part makes me cry. I knew that if I hold it on, I would survive, because I knew what was happening, but no one could help me, and I was trying to find a doctor that possibly could help me and understood Lyme disease and all this, but it took a while. Yeah, let's say I had to come back to the city, where I couldn't be. We ended up in a friend's house, which, by the way, treated me like shit, and my boyfriend ended up like running away because it was too much. Uh, I can understand, but yeah, let's just say that when you know someone, you don't do things that way. Let's put it that way. So I found myself with just my mom alone, thinking, "Oh, what the hell do we do?" By chance of God miracle, I don't even know, someone that is from my town, her husband is an amazing specialist on this, because in Poland they do um, actually have more cases, not in Spain. No one knew anything here, and thanks God I met him, and that's when everything started making sense. And I remember just trying to meet in a bar, and I couldn't barely walk or see him. I couldn't see. Um, but just the fact that someone told me, "Don't worry, you're gonna get better. No one is believing you. You're not having support. It's my mom alone. We need to find a place, and you'll be fine." And and yeah. So from that, finally I found a place where I could save my life and heal, without toxins in the forest and so on, and very slowly, very slowly, and with many hurt reactions and embarrassing states of, oh, unbelievable. I managed to somehow come out of it slowly, slowly. A very huge part of it was me and my mom basically studying day and night. What else could we do? What, how, and the place did the other 80% of it. It took like around 6 years for that part, 10 years, the whole thing. But here I am, you know. Uh, yeah, I still do have some fatigue left over. I'm not 100% because of mast cells, estrogen, all that, but I'm alive, and so many that were with me in the way that we used to talk to because we were all locked in rooms in different parts of the world, um, having, by the way, the same experiences except the hormonal part for me, which was making it insane. Um, yeah, some of us, which I remember like deeply in my heart, especially Ryan. Ryan Smith was such an amazing person that it totally breaks my heart that he's not with us anymore. And for, his wonderful mom as well. And all the people that were with me 24/7 on the phone. Obviously, I couldn't help anyone. I needed help at the time. And I have no words. But this is happening. Nobody knows about this. Nobody knows. They know how cancer, they know this, they know that. But this is such a brutal long term misunderstood situation that needs so much that, yeah. That's heavy, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I have no idea how I survived all those days without ending it, without what I did. And now I find myself wanting to live, wanting to do, and I'm lacking a car, I'm lacking people, I'm lacking support. It breaks my heart, to be honest. It really does. But I'm gonna do. Nothing's gonna stop me at this point. And I really hope the right tribe, the right people is finally around me, the right love, the right time, the right everything, and build a lifestyle that allows me to finally, like I'm doing now, like living and just be happy, and that's that. And hopefully my experience is going to help many others, or that's what I'm trying. Because when you have like small symptoms, you might have an idea, but when you live what I lived, with neurobartonellas, it's just out of this planet. I have no words to say. So if you are living this, please hold on. Families, friends, all, please do not give up on people. It could happen to anyone, and we need to also, have a lifestyle and maintain it. And that's what we should be do to start with, to never be sick. Do something that has coherence, live within our, convictions of living, and just be surrounded by the right people, and obviously nature, and stop the toxicity and nightmare. And that's how things work. So yeah, I did make it really short, but that's how it is. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. If you know anyone going through this, please, they need support. They need you to not judge them and be next to them, even if they are in the state where I'm almost well, but with still needing, supplements, all these plays and support. It's very important that you do not give up on these people, and that, I mean, I should not be even saying this, no? I mean, it's like a basic from humanity, I guess, that we should help each other, that we should not judge people, right? But yeah. And also that without all these things, the medical system is not with us. So unless we have this to be able to heal with nature, we're gone. So yeah, crazy stuff. Anyway, this is all I wanted to say. I wanted to make like a quick resume for people that just joined the channel. And yeah, sometimes I'm dancing here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I'm still not like everyone else. And my energy is not the same. And, working to get there and to maintain it and so on. But obviously, having support systems and just basically living, would make things a lot easier with people around, with, after all, we've been isolated for too long. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, this is the year, and this is mine, to start living and to create the life dream that I've been dreaming for so long. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day and enjoy the sun. Bye.